Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is your host, Jeezy, Jesse, whatever you want to call me, and this is Up Next Podcast. We are live and direct here in Temecula, California. I know, huh? And we're here with Game Snatch, a.k.a. Jermain.
What's going on, people?
And then Dan the man.
You know me.
There you go. Yeah, so what's going on, guys? You know, what events we got coming up? What's a little something you guys want to share with us?
Well, we got SoCal Gaming Expo coming up June 6th and 7th, so we're just getting ready for that right now, doing our yard selling stuff, picking up games, you know.
Trying to hustle.
Loading up the inventory.
Okay, cool. How about you, Danny? What are you looking forward to?
Excited. This is our 4th time in vending in this event and like our 5th time going or something like that, right?
Yeah.
If I'm correct, you know?
Okay.
And it's cool, man. Last year was dope. The year before was dope. It's just getting better and better, man. So I'm excited for this one. Like Jermaine said, a lot of hustle right now. So we got to do this, you know. We got to think ahead, you know, move up and see what we can do, you know.
Yeah. And so when you go there, I mean, are you looking forward to just like the sale of it, or are you looking forward to just kind of maybe purchasing some rare items that you maybe don't normally see? What do you look forward to there?
Dude, a little bit of everything. We first get to know our neighbors first, you know, try to get first dibs, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We learned that and doing these events. I'm
so
like, damn.
What do you mean by first dibs?
Because they can have something good and we can have something good. We could do a trade, we could do a sell, we could buy, you know what? Just
so there's pre-transactions,
everything, dude.
Even before like the event starts, right?
Well, the thing is that like since we're getting better and better, we hardly have times for ourselves, so we can't really go and explore. That's the tough part on this one, you know, because we gotta hustle. The hustle's coming, we gotta handle the hustle.
Handle the hustle.
Yeah, but straight up, you know, we're always yard selling. You know, we're always trying to add to the collection. So these big events are, you know, super fun to find rare stuff that you don't see at yard sales. Mm-hmm. And then also, you know, get rid of some of those doubles so we can use that money to get stuff to really add to our collection.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah,
cool
and quite the collection we got here, by the way. So, I mean, this is Jermaine's collection. I mean, anything here that just automatically stands out to you when you kind of walk in?
Well, you talking to me or Dan?
Yeah, no, I'm talking. This is your collection.
Oh, my collection.
Yeah, this is your collection.
Yeah.
So.
Well, honestly, like everything here has a story to it. You know, I've been yard selling for about 8-9 years now. So coming in here, everything has a story. That it feels really good to say that. You know, like I put in the work and found this stuff little by little. But things that stand out for sure is like. It's off camera right now, but it's like my N64 retail sign. Cool. It's lit up over here to the side.
Yeah, I see it. Pretty
that's,
cool, man.
One of my best finds right there. Old video game shop was closing, and they were clearing it out, the construction people, and they had a sign outside that said video game signs. So I called him up and showed up the next day, and the guy said $20.
Cool.
So I took it. You know?
I like that, you know, especially the ones where you don't expect to find that piece of rare game or, you know, memorabilia. It's kind of like you weren't expecting. It's kind of like those hidden treasures, you know, where like almost have that sense of adventure, the piracy of like, you know, you look for the map and you find it. It's kind of cool. So it's undiscovered treasure.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel you on that one. Like that happened to me not too long ago. You guys know on my birthday.
What'd you find?
On a Sunday.
On a Sunday.
What
happened?
And I went to a yard sale to my usual route, and I gave up. Actually, it wasn't Sunday. Let me take that back. It was Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
My birthday night on Saturday, and I was making I forgot what it was, some special dish at home, right? First time making it. Anyways, point of the story is I didn't find nothing. I gave up, and I was going home.
That was the point of the story?
No. Well, at the time. You know?
Okay.
And,
just messing with you.
So then we went. I was going back, and I gave up, and I saw one yard. So I thought, one more time. Mm-hmm. And it was a street that I'd been through, and I think a house I'd been through before, but I didn't get the hustle the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it out of her. This lady tried to sell me she was picking out the games for me, and I was like, no, take all these, and it's like literally picking out like, dude, like, okay, no, like let me do the picking
rather than you looking through it.
Yeah, because there was some dumb stuff. There was some dumb stuff.
Okay,
take all this for
Barbie game adventure or something.
Take all this for $40.
Okay,
and I was like, I like a couple of these games, but I'm not taking all of these for $40. But you know, I'd take all those for $20. Yeah. You know, that was my next thing to say, right? She's
the art of the deal.
She was very hard to get through, and she kept thrown at me that she got Pokemon game that. Well, first she said she sold previously before I got there her GameCube collection of games to this guy for $250. She was specifically. She told me that
Okay.
$250. I just sold a box right now of the little small disc. She said Mexican
Little
lady.
small disc.
Yeah,
so
she
you should talk about GameCubes.
I'm assuming she
Or
told me
PSP.
all this was in Spanish, by the way. She was telling me.
Pues español.
And then
little-
los chiquitos, los del Nintendo, you know. And I was like, oh man. And then she kept telling me that she has these Pokemon games. You know, I was like, well, but I don't want to sell them because my husband will get mad. And like,
really?
okay, like
Okay.
they're throwing at me, like in my face. I'm like, okay, well, can I see them before I purchase these games you're trying to pick for me? You know, I'm like, can I see that first? We can make a bigger deal. No, can't sell them. My husband will get mad. I was like, keep throwing it out there, cause she kept throwing it out there too. So like, is it a deal happening or not? So I told her like, can I see him? He's like, okay. And she brought him out. They ended up being 2 Pokemon games and expensive ones. Some of the expensive ones.
Which ones were they?
2 of the 3. One was I think that purple dude. I don't know, Pokemon, bro. The fucking purple dinosaur, flying dragon,
The
type
purple
shit.
dinosaur.
Yeah, I don't know.
Purple dinosaur.
Sapphire.
I don't know. It could be Sapphire, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. It's expensive. The other 2 expensive. There's only 3 expensive Pokemon games for GameCube, and I got 2 of the 3. So you know, that's all. That's the best way I could break it up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And this happened on my birthday, and I was like, I didn't know the price of it, but you know, I learned through this guy here, Jermain. You know, Pokemon stuff's very valued, so I always try to pick it up. And she kept telling me $20 a piece, so already on top of her 40. And I was like, no, you know, how about, you know, I give you like $15 for each one, you know, and at the end, I paid $20 a piece for.
$20 a piece.
A piece, so $40.
For I think it was Pokemon Stadium, and then the other one was Gale of Darkness. Both of those games are, you know,
Those
I think
two.
150, 200, around that range. So $20 a piece is pretty good score.
But probably one of the most expensive games I ever paid, because you know
What's the value
I
at?
never really dropped that much for a game.
200.
150. Okay, so
Yeah,
that was
per
quite
game.
the come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's awesome, man. I'm
Pretty
excited
dope.
for that.
Pretty dope, bro.
So let me ask, since we're all just on the topic of video games, I want to hear some top 5s, man. So give me your top 5, Jermaine, and then you, Danny.
Well, top 5 for sure. You know, this is my personal list, so you know these aren't the best games. They're just my personal favorites.
It's whatever you have
But
your
you know,
emotional tie to.
these are some good ones. So you know, there might be a lot of fans for sure. The Contra franchise was definitely up there. I would say the first one is my favorite. It's not the best one, but it is my favorite. If I had to pick, definitely that would be it. My all-time favorite game would be Super Metroid for Nintendo or Super
the OG
Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
just
All right.
awesome game. You know, it's a tough one. I did like the original first generation Pokemon games. I had Pokemon Blue for my Game Boy. That will always, you know, be super nostalgic for me.
Okay.
And you know, I always go back and play that. Also, I guess that'd be my fourth one would be Mario 64.
64. Okay.
Yeah, that was like the first one that went 3D, and the graphics were amazing. The water looked realistic.
That was quite the game changer from going from that, you know, what was it, 94, 95, all the way to 96, where it was like the graphical change.
It was a big jump.
Yeah.
It was a huge jump right there. That was like the first 3D games, and then, you know, Nintendo knocked it out of the park. You know, on their console with that remote, the analog stick.
Yeah.
It was just an amazing game. And I guess my fifth one would be the first Resident Evil.
You know, I was looking at that, I was thinking that, and I was like, all right, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hear Resident Evil somewhere along this.
It was just like a movie. It was scary. It had like a
Cinematic,
story to it. It was creepy, and you know, there was nothing else like that.
That's kind of how I felt with like that first Metal Gear game. It was like
first
time I
that's
ever
a great one,
played
too.
something that was like cinematic and really had
Like a real
sound,
movie. Yeah.
Whose puppets are these?
Yeah, that's awesome. Those,
Danny?
I guess, would be my top 5.
How about you?
I'm gonna start with a couple of top 5s. First top 5 and our favorite growing up console, NES.
Okay.
I'll start with that one. maybe because I had him or I had a cousin who had these games.
Okay, NES. Which one comes to mind?
So to me, number one will always be Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
There you go.
Okay.
You know, that's my favorite game in NES.
Did you ever use the cheat codes?
Of course. Of course. Well, look at I got to own that game, right?
Okay.
I guess you say it's during this stuff. We're doing the podcast, right?
Yeah.
My mom bought us that game. We were hanging out with my cousins in Artesia, and it was like a Sunday or something. And then this guy, Cholo, start going door to door and fucking trying to sell two video games. He had two NES games, no box, just loose. And it was at my cousin George. You guys met him, Curious George.
Okay.
I just saw him last night too. It's funny. Anyways, he was knocking. My aunt's like, no, I don't. And I was like, hey, we want something. Like, what do you got? You know? And he's like, oh, Mike Tyson's Punch Out. We heard of it.
Heard of it, huh?
Never knew anyone.
So, it was a real quick question. Which one came first, the Mike Tyson's Punch Out or just Punch Out?
I mean,
Mike Tyson.
Okay,
Punch
so
Out.
that one came first. Okay.
Well,
Continue.
Actually, in the arcade, it was just Punch Out.
Okay. So
I
then that
I
one
don't
came
think
out.
Tyson was in the arcade version.
So the arcade came 1st, Punch Out, and
who's
then
the
a
boss in the
license.
arcade? Is it Mr. Dream?
I'm not quite sure. That's
So
a good question.
Yeah.
Google it.
We'll have to
I'll
Google
figure it out.
All right.
We'll
Anyways,
figure it out.
Going back to the story, which you did divert. You know, we were just asking top 5, and
It's top 5, Dan.
anyways, I'm
you're on the
sorry.
side quest. But if you want to continue the side quest, we continue the side quest.
Yeah, side quest.
Okay.
Let's finish
Well,
side
what was the
quest.
rest of the story?
So like, it was Punch Out and fucking Hogan's Alley, the fucking gun game, fucking Zapper game.
Okay.
You shoot like little mobster fools, got to save the girls and don't shoot the old man type shit,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, it's funny, and so we got to have that game when it came out, bro.
Okay.
So it was like everyone, all the.
So are
cousins.
those two both in your top 5 or just the one?
It's my top one, bro.
Top one. Okay.
So,
Well,
So,
continue.
anyways, Legend of Zelda.
Legend of
first one.
Zelda. Okay.
I-
NES.
I know where everything's at. Where to burn, where to not burn, where to bomb, where to not bomb. Everything.
Never played
You
it.
know?
So
Just freestyled growing up. Beat it so many times.
okay.
Number 3 would probably be Contra.
Contra?
Like me and my brother used to call it. Maybe I'd call it.
Okay.
I
Contra.
don't know. Contra.
Contra.
Double Dragon.
All right.
That
sweet.
series
Part
was.
1 or 2?
You guys like part 2, but I like part 1.
Okay.
You can edit that later.
So I'm hearing a lot of theme of the NES. So okay.
Yes, that's 4 right there. And then the 5th one?
The 5th one will be
Fifth
TNC
Element?
Surf. Boy, I like TNC Surf, bro.
Surf, wow.
TNC Surf, I like that game.
Okay.
The skateboarding one probably because I can't beat the damn fucking
I like it, man. No, that's cool.
TNC Surf. Dun, 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 dun,
Okay,
You know what I mean?
You know,
we can go on.
I love the retro, so I'll try to give my top 5
What's
retros.
your top 5, G?
Probably Mario Brothers 3,
Okay.
Super Mario World. Gotta give love to Duck Hunt because obviously everyone, the gun that was like the game changer.
Everybody hated
We never
the
saw,
dog.
yeah, the
Laugh
dog.
at you.
So that's 3. Let me see number 4. I mean, I guess you could consider this retro because Metal Gear 1 is fucking
Yeah,
PS1.
is considered retro.
So yeah, that one.
Last one.
Probably Street Fighter 2 on the Super NES because that's the one that I think everyone was just hooked on from the arcade. And so when it came to the home console, I mean, what kid didn't want to play it? What kid didn't want to just be all about it? So yeah, that one was like the quarter game. So if you guys know about spending quarters at 7-Elevens or pizza places
Laundry
or donut
mats.
shops or laundromats,
You gotta put the quarter on top to be next, bro.
that's
On the screen.
well,
on the screen.
yeah, you go. You got to put it by the joysticks, right there by the
Tells you
screen.
who's next.
Exactly. So I mean those are the ones that you kind of just remember, man. Is the quarter games. You got your Street Fighters, your Mortal Kombats. Those are the ones that you would spend money just kind of waiting
X-Men
for.
Arcade, the wrestling
Oh, yeah.
game, Turtles,
X-Men
Simpsons.
So
Arcade.
many.
You know?
There's just so many.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah.
wrong answer, really. That generation was just, groundbreaking and laid
Yeah.
the foundation to what we're playing today.
Yeah,
It's still there. That's something like kind of Atari didn't do, where those early Nintendo games did. There was actual characters. There was actual gameplay, not just...
Story behind them.
It was multiple
Yeah.
screens. The old Atari games were usually just one screen, where these original Nintendo games, you started progressing, moving forward, you know?
Yeah, pushing the industry.
So I feel like those
the
games
innovation.
well, yeah, they're outdated, you know, people will forget some of them, but the originals will always be there. There will always be the originals, the original Marios, the original Donkey Kongs, those type of games, Contras, those type of games will be iconic or, you know, live on forever, I think.
Yeah, I like it, man. So, SoCal Gaming, when is that again? June 6th?
June 6th, 7th, and 8th. It'll
June
be a
6th,
3-day
7th,
event. This will be the first time
Here,
they'll be doing it.
promoting, as you guys could tell. You know,
yeah,
got a little Game Snatch
SoCal.
shirts, merch. You guys could be there.
Yeah,
Check it out. You know, if you guys need some information, reach out to me, reach out to Jermaine, Danny. We're all
Hit up
looking
the
forward
Game
to it.
Snatch Instagram page. Usually we'll post, you know, all information, where we'll be at, you know, times, all that good stuff.
So, question here, just because, you know, someone that's probably never heard of this. Besides the video games, they do sell a collection of other things, right?
Yeah.
Or is it just strictly the games for this con?
No, they sell figures, they sell movies. We'll be selling movies, Laserdisc,
Toys.
VHS, toys, televisions, old CRTs,
magazines,
VCRs,
old magazines,
comics. Yeah, it was just everything 90s, 2000s, 80s pop culture.
Pop culture stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about the whole nostalgia thing? You know, it's like, as far as like, you know, we've been seeing a whole lot of these. So just Comic Cons and, you know, whatever retro cons. What do you think it is? Is it just people just trying to relive the childhood, or is it just the good memories? What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Just the word nostalgic is just like, you know, it's something that you see and it fucking kicks you and takes you back in time. You know, you could be with your young ones, you know, and when the moment happens, you're like, damn, you know, let me show you something. Show that kid, show that stuff. That's how hard the word nostalgic is. You know, to answer your question, dude, like, it means a lot, dude. It means love. It means memories. It's fucking building memories. You know, it's just when life was different. You know, like our generation was probably one of the best one so far in written. You know what I mean? Straight out. You know what I mean? We saw it all when the technology wasn't like this, and so now retro's hitting the youth right now, bro. I love that, bro, because it's gonna be forever now. You know, because they're gonna keep it. They're gonna keep it the following. You know, so I
think there's appreciation. I mean, I know when people they have their own version of like kind of that nostalgia. Collecting old like Coke machines was one thing. Old pinball machines was another.
Train sets.
Yeah, train sets.
Horror collection. Yeah. You know, me and Jermaine, we both have a little taste on that. Yeah. You know, like it's not just games. You know, we love different stuff. Yeah. You know,
or even like just to take it another step further, when people would say like, "Oh man, this guy's going through a midlife crisis," he'd get that little Corvette or a little old nostalgic car that he couldn't have when he was younger. So. Yeah, it's quite just it's developed into this new form. You know, I guess now that you can afford the things you wanted back when you were younger, you do it. So
another thing too, nerdy stuff is cool now.
Yeah.
Back in the days when we're growing up, nerdy stuff was
cool.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it was just
would make
different.
Fun of
yeah,
you,
definitely.
You know, if you like comic books, if you're all into video games,
which is Revenge of the Nerds back then. You know,
a nerd. Where now that's considered cool.
Yeah.
So that's why you see so many of these, conventions popping up and being so successful, because being a nerd is considered cool now. Yeah. And it's always been cool. There's nothing wrong with it, but now it's mainstream, you know?
Yeah. So I have a question here also as well, just because, the whole community, it's definitely nationwide, but have you guys seen any like international love, for the retro community?
Definitely. It is all over. It's all over the world.
I've seen Japan, so I know that one's huge.
Well, that's the home.
Yeah.
You know?
It's where a lot of this stuff came from originally. Yeah. But yeah, definitely it's all over the world. You'll see it in Mexico and Latin American countries. All this stuff. You'll see the video games, the movies, the figures, Of course, American media is, super popular, but
they're pretty much
see it everywhere.
Pretty much antiques now, bro. It's dope.
Well, I've definitely seen some videos where some guys were either Afghanistan or Pakistan or one of the stands where it was like, okay, they had like this little retro gaming store. I saw the videos of it, and guys were really just hyped about it because that was their form of entertainment back then. It was just kind of like, oh, okay, like they're keeping the tradition alive.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. Yeah, it's global.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna edit it.
No, I mean I was gonna let you guys talk, but I don't like to take the conversation whole. But no, I definitely want to give you guys a chance to kind of maybe talk anything else about besides the gaming or anything about you guys you want to share. So definitely, this is the platform where it's all nice and free, and you guys can talk about anything.
Well, just happy, to be in this community. It's been super chill. Since I started actually doing these events, my collection has grown, significantly. Yard selling, it's fun. You'll find some cool stuff, but that super rare, super collectible kind of thing, it's tough to find at yard sales. Usually, you'll find some good stuff at yard sales, and you can sell that or trade that to get some of this rare stuff. So it's cool, to be part of the community, and also, be able to get the inventory at the yard sales, meet people every weekend, make awesome connections, and go outside, get some exercise too. It's super fun. So that's just one thing that I just want to promote. Just the retro community is awesome, and if you have a chance, go out to those swap meets, go out to those yard sales, talk to people, and get those deals. Don't always pay retail price.
Where do you guys see as the better deals? Do you guys see it better at like swap meets, yard sales, or maybe these retro gaming events?
Definitely, me personally would be yard sales.
Okay.
For sure, because you just meet people that are cleaning up their house, or that just want to get rid of stuff.
Want to get rid of it.
Or they're moving out of state and they can't pack all that stuff up and they want to get rid of some of it. But you see it online, you see it on YouTube. These guys kill it at the swap meets.
Yeah.
You got to have your connections, it seems like. But the swap meets are where it's at also, too.
Okay.
And then
be seen that, they're up early. So they're up like 6, 7 in the morning.
Crack of dawn, same thing.
Yeah.
At 6, And so I did it with Madness one time. We left at 6.
Oh, you left at 6?
Yeah, we left the house at 6.
And you got to the swap meet at 7?
We got there like at 6:35.
6:35.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
Mount Rubidoux, the Rubidoux swap meet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had one there.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the drive-in place?
The drive-in.
Oh, okay, yeah. Now I remember. I think we went there once.
Yeah, we went one time all together.
Yeah, you and me, we went. So I know. I like it.
One thing that I noticed from the swap meets is you just got to have your connections. You can't just go one time and expect to hit that gold mine unless you do show up 5, 6 in the morning. I'm guessing you can get lucky
for sure.
But these guys that are finding stuff, I would assume that they have connections with storage guys, the guys that set up every week. They hold stuff for them off to the side. So
I never think about that as far as like these guys who go out there scavenging through like storage facilities. I can imagine. They just want to
sales.
They want to move estate sales. That's another thing I never even thought about it.
I'm guessing these vendors, they have their guys that they know. Hey, I got a box of games. This guy's going to pay me a couple hundred bucks for it, so I'm going to hold it for him.
Game collectors, they know their people. They get first dibs. They probably get the rare stuff.
Big time.
Definitely. Where at the yard sales, it's kind of just get out there, talk to people.
We're like we're the infantry, bro. It's like we're walking
scavenger,
around the grounds. That's what we're doing. That's the way I see it.
There's definitely a skill to it.
I like how you brought it up. So you exactly talking to people. So give me some good stories.
There's definitely a skill to it. Yard selling is a skill. You got to convince these people to bring this stuff out. Usually 99% of the time, it's not at the yard sale out there. So what we do is we approach these homeowners and, make small talk with them and ask for games. Okay. Start listing them off. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, DS,
Anything gaming.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the skill, getting the people to bring it out.
Okay.
The luck part in yard selling is what they bring out. You don't know what they're going to bring out.
Yeah, you never know.
So I just say, hey, whatever you got, just bring it out. Yeah. Sometimes they say, hey, I got an old N64 remote. One guy told me that one time. I was like, oh yeah, whatever, bring it out, man. Whatever you got. he ended up bringing out a sealed Super Nintendo remote.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I was just like,
But he also brought what he said on top of that.
no, that's what he.
Oh,
that's what he
okay.
said.
He
He
probably
had.
Okay,
confused
gotcha.
it.
So, you know, I just asked for games, and they say they have this, that. I'm like, whatever you got, just bring it out. Just bring it out. And that kid brought out a Super Nintendo sealed remote.
Nice.
Asked him how much. He was $2.
Danny, let me ask you this. So when you're out there, do you find it, maybe trying to strike a deal in Espanol or English? Would use that to your advantage as far as like, hey, come on, mi
Sometimes I
raza,
lie, sadly.
my
But
people.
I lie sometimes too. But
Okay,
like I
you
try.
lie?
Yes, I'll tell you the lie. But
Okay.
but it's just different stories. It's the way I grab the person. You know. So I can really get it, because there's a lot of times they tell us, no, que ese es de mi hijo, they're holding it, it's theirs, like, I'm trying to see if we can, God, come on, bring something out,
Yeah.
I had to, because if there's a collection, it's probably good then, maybe, right? So sometimes I tell them that they're for my kids. I don't have kids, bro. Yeah, que mi niño, que le gusta el retro, all kinds of stuff, and I was like, oh, sí. Sometimes I tell them that yo soy el niño, I'm the kid. They're for me,
Okay.
That was just the truth,
Yeah.
pretty much,
But you said mi niño. I was like, well,
Yo soy niño, el niño grande, So I'm the big kid, and anyways, I said something, but I said a lot of stuff like, you just gotta grab them and saying, compliment them, and how your sales doing, like. Even if I don't get nothing, or if I do, at the end when I walk out, good luck on yourselves. I throw it out there because it probably gives me good vibes. I didn't get shit, but I was like, good luck on you. Yeah, thank you. Yesterday morning, I got, you too, God bless you. And I like,
There you go.
what I mean? Like different stuff.
Well, that's good manners.
So-
Just good manners.
And I'm a good guy,
You're a good guy.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I feel like the skill of finding games at yard sales is being able to small talk.
Yeah.
If you're able to small talk people consistently and engage them and keep their attention, it makes it easier for them to be like, all right, hold on, like, let me go get some games. You're super cool. Like, you're looking for games. I have games inside my house. Let me go inside and bring them out for you. And so if you're good at small talk,
And then you get selling too, bro.
you get more people, or what is it like? Bees or the honey,
Yeah. The sweeter you are,
Yeah.
you attract more bees with honey
Because
than you do with vinegar.
I've seen people at yard sales literally just go up to the homeowner and just say,
Games.
"Do you got any games?"
Games.
And they say no, and they walk away.
Yeah.
So I try to make a little conversation with the person a little bit, kind of just
You have to grab them, bro.
Relate.
You
to
gotta
them.
grab them. Connect
Relate to
the converse.
So I feel like that's the secret, honestly.
No, cool. I'll try to do that next time I'm out.
Do it.
Yeah, but I
Definitely.
usually don't have any much luck. I think the one time I went with you guys when we went on like little yard adventures, I found some old magazines some guy was selling. I was like, oh, that's pretty
there
cool.
Were Times magazine.
Yeah,
right?
it was the one with Kurt Cobain after he died, the Rolling Stone
That
cover.
was
Oh,
dope. The
it's a
famous
roll.
cover.
Okay.
The famous cover was a
That's what
dope
it
one.
was.
Just stuff to hold.
It's a
you know.
dope one with the glasses, right? The little goggles thing, yes.
No, it was right
Wasn't that
after
one?
he died. So it kind of just like,
Like a
a little
sad-looking picture.
memorial of him dying.
This is
So,
one of
yeah.
the Rolling Stone one, I think. It's
Yeah,
like
there's
Goggles.
that one. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I know what you're talking about. He had like goggles on or
something like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but hopefully maybe next time I roll with you guys, I can find something.
I got this at a yard sale for $10.
Show it to the camera.
Oh, there you go.
What is it?
No, wrong camera, Danny.
Sorry, man. See that stuff? So it starts off like this.
There you go.
What is it?
Actually, it starts like this. See that? So
Hadouken.
it's,
Oh,
Ryu. We don't name Ryu, but we know him as Ryu. And it's,
That's right, Ryu.
Throwing, he's a Dugan, It's
Hadouken.
fucking,
Hadouken.
Kamehameha. The original Kamehameha, not the original, but at the same time.
Yeah,
And then right here, he fucking just
fires it off. Yeah.
Hadouken. That's what it is. It's real, legit. Street Fighters, Capcom. It's not cheap.
There you
$2.
go.
This is the stuff, kind of stuff you can find.
I think Danny Boy just wanted to show off his hair.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
The crow.
letting it grow out.
Crow.
Uh-oh, you forgot to... You tapped the top mic. Right there, see? There you go.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No, we like your setup, dude. You got a nice little setup going now. Little mobile podcast going. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What are your plans with this? What is your plans with the podcast?
Right now, it's all just kind of beta testing, kind of seeing what I see a spike in audience. This could be it. I don't know. If this could be the niche. I'll just follow wherever the trend's going. But it really just starts off with me just wanting to have conversations with people, just trying to get to know their lives, catalog it, have it there for them. They can look back on it and be like, oh yeah, I did a show, I did a podcast, you know. People just want a platform to talk and express themselves and just kind of share thoughts, ideas, stories, places they've been, people they've known. And I try to offer this, you know, just kind of with it, mostly with the people I know, but I'm venturing out to people I don't. So hey, if you have friends and family, if you have
we'll get you some
associates,
new guests.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
We'll find some people at SoCal Gaming Expo.
Yeah, and maybe we'll do a live stream out there. Maybe we'll just kind of set it up.
There you go.
I mean, maybe they'll teach me some. I'm still brand new to this. I mean, with this setup, this audio setup, I know you could live stream with YouTube. You could live stream with Twitch and Twitter.
Gotcha.
They're the similar things, but you know, I'm not there yet, so I'm still learning. I'm actually supposed to hit up one of the guys that I help, or help me, or he's going to help me. We did a podcast the other day, and he helped me out with the video. So shout out to Scott. If we're editing this video later, you know, let me know how I'm doing, because I definitely want to get better. You know, just like with anything, I think
That's
we all
awesome.
strive to be better, try to learn new skills. You know, something you didn't know, something you just kind of want to pick up.
Yeah, this video game stuff kind of happened like that too. Like, it was just a total random thing. I just wanted to continue doing something. Some people know I used to play poker all the time. You know, I got to the point where I was like semi-professionally playing online, and I totally devoted all my free time to it. So when I stopped playing, I needed something to fill up that gap, and retro video games was that. It was around the time when like the SNES or the NES Mini came out, around 2016, and I started hunting for it, and I couldn't find it, so I kind of discovered like thrift stores and yard sales, and that rush that I would get from playing poker. You know, I started getting it from doing the retro video game stuff, hunting for games, and it was just like addicting. So that's what I'm happy that I found this community to, you know, move, you know, that just passion that I had for poker into something else right away. And, you know, like, look what I've accomplished, you know, with this collection, and just with the Game Snatch crew stuff. Like, that's awesome. I want to keep, you know, blowing that up and keep promoting it. That's why I got like all this merch now that we'll be taking to SoCal Retro. We'll be at what booth are we at? We're at booth 530 and 529. So if you guys see anything on our social media that you like, stop by our booth. If you want to pick up any merch, we'll have shirts, stickers, tons of games, you know, great prices, and you know, we're easy to work with. You know, any type of deal you want to make, just, you know, let us know.
All right, Danny, how about you, man?
Well, like Jermain said, like, what we do here, like, we just picked it up, like, you know, like I picked it up a little bit after Jermain, and like, to me, it became like a hobby for me, and something healthy to do, like, especially like during COVID, you know, like when COVID hit, like, it was the hobby just got bigger, and that's where I kind of
definitely everyone was, you know, confined to the house, so definitely the retro.
Because I did it before COVID, but I was kind of doing it slow. I wasn't really doing like all the time, and then like, during COVID, you know, we had nothing else to do, and like, you know, I picked it up. At the time, there was like the Super NES Classic, something like that. So like, you know, retro was like back, you know, and it was cool to have, you know. And right away, you already start hearing, oh, these collecting's new now, huh? You know, you get those yard sales. Oh yeah, it's expensive now, huh? And I was like, what? You know, and I like that, but at the same time, I don't like that because, like, you know, stuff's going up. And
so let me compare this
market,
real quickly,
you know,
just
different.
because I just want to chime in. As far as where collecting, I feel, kind of started was like baseball cards. I mean, would you consider that kind of like the granddaddy of collecting?
Yeah,
for our generation, definitely.
Okay. So
collecting has been going on forever, but yeah, for our generation,
where do you guys see that?
Those bubblegum packs,
sports cards,
the flyer,
sports cards, Garth Bell kids,
Fleer.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
So I mean, where do you guys see that as the trend with baseball cards? I still see some movement, still some big. I mean, especially like basketball cards.
It seems like
you see the ones with the little
market,
jersey pieces.
It's definitely super popular right now. Yeah, COVID definitely brought that back. But I've noticed it's more like graded stuff. It seems like that's where the market is. People. It seems like people want to buy the cards to get them graded.
Yeah.
So they're looking for those gem 10s or whatever, near mint, whatever they're called. But that's what I've noticed in that market, that you got to have some good stuff and it's got to be in perfect condition too.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I've seen just the little jersey pieces really take off too. So a 1-for-1, even, you know what, Formula One racers, they've really came into the market. That's kind of been their new thing. So, I thought it died a while ago, or a lot of the expensive cards
definitely
kind of died down.
It did die down, but it seems like COVID brought that back, and then it's like waves,
Well, then even also NFTs, like NFT was
those are dead. It seems like those did die off
from the people that were paying like almost
Top
like
dollar.
millions of dollars for like, what is it, this dumb monkey or whatever.
COVID was some strange
And then
times, that lockdown. People had all that extra, a stimulus money and
there you go.
all that. So people, got into,
trying to create new markets, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just sometimes they're dead on arrival, or sometimes, just a little bit longer.
Yeah, you never know. So just, follow
we got NFT at the Coachella, right?
Yeah, we do own a Coachella NFT. What year was that we went?
20... Damn, that's a good question. I want to say 2019, before COVID.
No, it was after COVID. It was probably 2021 or 2022.
You think so?
Yeah, it was about 3 years ago, I would say.
I thought it was pre-COVID.
No, it was after COVID. So yeah, we all got a NFT at that Coachella
event.
Oh, you know what it was?
It was 2023.
2022.
Oh, 2022.
Because I had just turned 40, and that was kind of like my thing. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna celebrate my birthday and then go to Coachella.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, 2022.
Was cool.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I dug it for the experience, but yeah, just crowds, the heat, and the expensive food and lines. I'm not a big fan. This is why I don't go to Disneyland. So I'm not a fan of Disneyland or going to places like that.
I haven't been to Disneyland since the summer of 8th grade, going to 9th grade.
Whew, that's a while. I mean, that's a whole nother obsession and passion there, man. Like, so you look at those communities, man, like where everyone has their own little passion.
Passionate about what they're passionate about. Now, we live in the era where there's the internet. Like, if you like something, you can find someone online that's into it too,
There's
Build
that
something.
community. Mm-hmm. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Danny? Like, with people that are like, have that same obsession and passion for like going to Disneyland, like how you guys have for video games.
I think they're fucking rich, bro. I went to Disneyland last year, and before that, I went 2 years prior, and before that, since I was like 12, and I'm 44, bro. So like, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't see in Disneyland, just because, I just never went, and after that, it's just not that I didn't want to, and when I finally went, dude, there was already rides there that been there that I never even experienced because I haven't gone that long.
Well, okay.
So like, whatever the California Adventures. Have you guys even been to that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. I mean, the last time I probably went,
I went on it 2 years ago, and I got on a ride that used to be another ride that everyone would talk shit that it was better before.
What's that?
The Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
It was like something terror.
It was
like that.
Tower of Terror.
Something like that.
That was fun. I
So now
remember
it's
that when I
Guardian
was
of
a
the
kid.
Galaxy.
That was a California Adventure.
But the Guardian of the Galaxy was cool. No, it is.
Oh, okay then.
No, wait, is it?
Or something
The Haunted Mansion.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm thinking of the
Haunted Mansion. Isn't Disneyland.
No,
What
it
is the Haunted Mansion now?
It is. The Haunted Mansion is still a Haunted Mansion.
Oh,
but no,
that's
this
cool.
one was like, House of Terror or
Tower of Terrors.
Tower of Terror. Yeah. But yeah, it's in California Adventure.
And I hate that I never experienced that. Anyways, I finally went. I got on Splash Mountain. Thank God I got on it because the year after that there was no more Splash Mountain, bro.
Yeah, well, they rebranded it, didn't they?
It's like something else now.
Yeah, they rebranded it.
Yeah, so
I don't even know what it's called. But again, it's.
Well, to answer your question, going back to really answer your question,
Yeah,
what do
go
you
ahead.
think of that? Like, I mean, that's tough.
I mean, you already answered.
It's dope.
It's expensive.
It's dope, but like, I just can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when I'll go to Disneyland again.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I was thinking about for my son JJ to taking him just because I had a dream. I was telling the wife.
The kid has to be there.
Yeah,
You know?
that's the only reason why I would not go. Like, hey, I want, because there's people that go there without their kids, which I don't know. My opinion, that's kind of weird, but I get it. Even mom
regulars?
and dad, no, mom and dad need their time off, and that's where they want to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just because that's their passion.
Gotcha.
You know,
That's their nostalgia. You
Yeah,
know? They
that's
want to
exactly.
go back to that happy place. You know.
and I think that's the nail on the head right there.
Yeah.
Just because of that, it's like we go back to when we were kids, and those are the things that they remember that maybe they really wanted to go, and now that they're adults, have adult monies, it's like it's what
We
you
always
do with it.
wanted when we were kids. We couldn't get
Yeah.
everything we wanted. Now that we're old, we
Yeah.
can pretty much get
We can
whatever
buy
we
the
want.
toys we want.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I mean, you kind of with cars, people have their passion with the cars and the takeovers, which again, those are pretty dangerous. I don't know. People have that passion. What other communities are there besides that I could think? I rattled off baseball cards, Disney, and
Vinyls.
cars.
You know, the vinyl collector, the little
Vinyls,
hipster
yeah.
shit. You know, that's just dope. Finding vinyls is dope, bro.
Okay.
You know, even
the-
Jermaine picks up vinyls. You
The
know,
vintage
Artwork.
clothing.
Yeah,
Clothing.
vintage
That's
clothing.
blowing up now.
Yeah.
yeah,
Super
concert
expensive.
shirts,
Yeah,
like stuff like
super
that.
Concert
expensive.
shirts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Old promotional video game shirts, man, they're freaking expensive.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool, man. I like that. You know, just wherever the passion's at, I'm all for supporting it, people's
Just do it.
passions, just
Just
because
do it. Do your
you know
thing.
when you see the love and you see how much time people put into that the body of work we were talking about. So you know, shout out to Rob Rodriguez. Yeah,
SoCal.
put in that work. SoCal.
SoCal's coming up, man. We're excited.
Get your tickets now.
Yeah, June
That's
6th
right.
to 8th. We'll be there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
Look for
Check
us.
it out.
Game Snatch.
Yes, it'll be our 4th year coming back. It's feels amazing.
Year number 4, huh?
Year number 4.
Okay.
Feels like it's gotten better every year.
So this one's kind of like the largest SoCal gaming
it's the biggest
for SoCal?
California.
California, yeah, like the biggest gaming expo
Okay.
of California.
Yeah, because I've seen some other ones because I follow a couple of the YouTube channels.
Mhm.
I know
Yeah,
there's one in Arkansas, which I got
Portland.
family out there. Yeah,
Portland Gaming
that's another
Expo,
one.
the one that just passed, Game On
Yeah, there you
in
go.
Arizona.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's some big conventions all around the United States. But yeah, SoCal Gaming Expo is the biggest one out here in California.
Anything in New York or Chicago? Have you guys heard of?
Not that I've
sure.
heard
Those are
of.
some pretty big
Arizona has a big
markets.
one.
Yeah.
Florida has a big one.
Yeah,
Okay.
they got some big
Oh.
ones out there.
Oregon, you know.
But it's cool
Oregon.
that the Pixel Squad guys purchased this one because
Yeah, that's dope.
It
That's
seemed
right.
like the last few years it was kind of dying down. It wasn't as promoted as well. But man, these guys took over and just
Yeah.
promoted the crap out
Yeah.
of it, and it's awesome. They added the skateboard stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They moved it to Pasadena.
Yeah.
Just a bigger market, and we're super grateful that these guys did it. And
Have you guys met with
blowing it
them or had
Yeah,
a chance to
we
kind
ran
of talk
into
to
him a
them?
couple
We've
times.
talked to them a couple
Yeah.
times, and
Never in the wild or anything like that.
No,
Hey,
no.
I want that deal.
no, we never. It seems like they're more like in
Or let
Orange
me ask
County.
you that: like, have you guys ever come across like other game collectors while you guys were out, and maybe you guys try to fight over the same deal or anything like that?
All the time.
Go ahead, Danny.
I mean, I want to hear it. Come on.
Well, there's this competition for sure. I saw one yesterday. I was
Okay.
telling Jermaine about it.
Competition. Okay.
Competition.
Yeah,
It was. I went to the wrong lands. I went to Riverside.
You went to the wrong.
Yeah,
What was
yeah.
that?
I was going.
Someone
to,
else's
yeah, someone else's territory.
Okay.
So, but I seen those guys in Mobile. Mobile's my territory. Anyways, this guy was behind me one step, and I kept going forward, and we saw each other. We clicked. This that moment is like, what the fuck? Like in slow motion. And we saw, and he's looking at back. He's coming in. And,
So you already knew he was a collector even
yeah.
before.
Yeah.
You have
He's
seen
asking
him
the same
before,
questions.
right?
Seen him.
As I get in the car, I'm already hearing the seller, the vendor, telling them that guy just told me the same thing. So I'm like, I'm going to because right now there's a lot of community sales because it's spring.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like there's back to
Yeah,
back.
that's
Jermaine
right.
knows, and I was just going forward, and I saw him. And he kept looking at me, and like I almost wanted to say something, but I didn't do it. I'm a good
Okay.
guy. I'm a good guy, bro.
Say something to the guy that was
Like
buying,
I
or
was gonna be a dick
or the
about
other
it, but
guy.
nah.
The seller.
I was gonna be the dick one,
Okay.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, but don't be a dick. Yeah, be the good guy. Be the good guy. So I just
man.
walked away. I kept going, but we see it all the time, And like sometimes, there was a time when a quick one I saw some NES. Well, I didn't see that. I asked the guy, like Jermaine said, we made him get it out. There's a guy who asked before me, though. He did ask before me, but he was still working because he was busy with other yard sellers, you know. So I asked him, oh yeah, that guy just asked me right now. He's like, I'll get him right now. Give me a second. So he kept working. A lot of people had questions to him, you know. So he finally went inside and grabbed him, and I got closer to the door so he could come towards me, bro. And it worked, bro. You know, it got me probably 8 NES games. You know, I let them the fucking Duck Hunt Mario with a scratch one and some other bullshit that I have. I wasn't a dick, you know. So I let them some stuff.
So that's another question. Well, that you
he
brought
was
up.
mad, bro.
Hold on. Let me jump in there because I know when you guys go into the yard sales, you get a bunch of beat up or scratched.
Still
merch.
pick them up, bro. Still pick them up.
Okay, so I mean, do you prefer that because you get a better deal, or do you prefer something more mint? Because I know we're talking graded stuff.
You want the mint stuff.
Yeah.
You don't want to be fixing nothing, so you're looking for that. But
okay, but you got to pay
bring that up.
mint prices.
Yeah,
being knowledgeable about your games.
Yes,
what chords they take. You know how it's supposed to look. We put that in consideration as we're negotiating, you know. Sometimes the AV cord's missing. Sometimes the remote's missing. Sometimes, you know, it is dusty. Even
how do I know it works?
Yeah.
Well, I played it in '83. The 83.
So you can use anything to your advantage.
So
being knowledgeable about your product is, you know, key. So you know what's missing. You know how it's supposed to look. So, and the average, you know, homeowner is not going to know this, you know. It's their kids' stuff.
Have you guys ever been burnt by something you bought and then
Definitely.
maybe didn't get a chance to test it there?
Definitely. You of course you'll find some broken stuff. So, but the way to handle that is always try to get the best deal. So if you do get burned, it's only for $5, $10. You know, you can recover off that.
So let me ask you, put 2 scenarios for you guys, and I kind of want to see where you guys are at. As far as getting something that is pretty common, but at a dirt cheap price, or something more rare, you know, at a very premium price. What would you prefer?
It just depends on what it is. Expensive games will always, they tend to move slower. So it just depends on your business model. I'm doing it, you know, more as a collector, you know. Yeah, I want to get money on the side too. So yeah, of course, I'm going to go for the rare stuff.
You want more mint stuff.
I want the
more
mint
of the rare stuff.
Yeah. But I'm sure, you know, if you're doing it to pay your rent, you know, monthly, you want those quick, easy sells, you know.
Yeah,
and
the
if
common
you get
ones that are
deals,
quick turnarounds. And what does move more quickly in this industry? Like, what goes faster?
Pretty much everything we just talked about, our favorite games. Those type of franchises.
So the Contras, the Pokemon,
the Marios, the Pokemon.
all the favorites, you know.
All the favorites. Those are what people are looking for.
What is the
great condition.
surprised ones that maybe wouldn't be common knowledge to the people that are listening? I don't know.
Xbox 360.
Okay.
That generation is starting to get a little older. They're starting to, you know, join the working class. They have extra money to spend. They're picking up Call of Duties. They're picking up these games that, you know, we didn't play because we were already older, you know.
Some Halos and shit.
Halos. I'm realizing, they're not expensive games. $10, $15, but man, they move.
Yeah.
They move pretty fast.
Well, here, let me bring into this hot topic controversy of Nintendo and what they're doing with the industry and video gaming. You probably already know what I'm going to ask.
The prices?
Not so much the pricing, that's one of the factor, but what they're doing to the physical media. It's not a physical media, it's a key.
It's a fakie.
Yeah. It's
a digital key.
Yeah.
Just the way
So, I mean,
everything
are
is
they
going.
destroying physical media now?
They're not the only ones doing it, you know. This has been going on for a while now. Everything's going digital. Look at everything that we watch, everything that we consume.
Do you
It's
think
just the first steps, you know?
Do you think this is the beginning of the end?
Yes, definitely.
Skynet.
Yeah, because, you know, it costs money to make these cartridges, these CDs, you know, this promotional stuff, these discs, these cases. If they could just create a file and you just download it, click on it, and still get paid the same amount of money, it just makes sense, you know. It sucks for us as collectors, but it's just where the market is going.
It's the beginning. They're doing it with certain games right now. So far, every Nintendo-owned game is actual media.
Yeah.
You know, the other ones are like, some other ones have actual media, but 80% of them is a key.
But it's even like that on the Switch already. Like, some of them,
Certain Switch games don't even have.
They don't even have it on there. You
Yeah.
can't play them if you're not online.
Yep.
It's just like not
Crazy.
really anything. So it's just the way the market's going. That's why like I have this big collection. Like I want to play the game that I want to play when I want to play it. Same with my favorite movies. You know, I own my favorite movies, so I don't have to go look for it on this platform, that platform. If I want to watch, you know, whatever I want to watch, I just put it on. You know, so that's a cool thing that, you know, also yard selling. You'll find a lot of old media, you know, movies that, you know, are a little harder to find.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Yeah, so I just, you know, for us, I feel like our generation will always be physical media, but the generations after us,
That's it.
that's it.
Yeah, and I get it where some people want it as the convenience.
Yeah.
Where, you know, Apple introduced their, you know, the first iPod and iPhone where everything was at your fingertips, where it was just kind of very revolutionary to kind of see all that media on one device. And that's kind of the trend, you know. That's why I'm pretty sure the vinyl collector people like, well, wait, you know, what about the art, the, you know, the physicalness, you know? Yeah, there's passion for that, but
Those
I
old
get
VHS
it, you know.
cases, you know, the art on there, those laser discs, you know, art on the laser disc is just amazing, you know. Now you're just looking at a picture on a screen.
Yeah, it's crazy because I was asking one of our previous podcast people about the whole AI and how quickly it can make art. So when you look at it in that sense, the trend where it's leading up to in another 10, 15, 20 years, it could be like, well, hey, you have the option. You have an organic movie made with real actors, real props, or you have an AI movie, you know, that's dirt
Generated.
cheap, you know, but you got
Directed
the
by
organic one.
another AI.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Spit out. No,
And you got an organic movie that's way more costly. Is that something in the future when you guys will get the option? I mean, will you still continue to support the real?
I think I will.
Even though it'll be much, much more expensive?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
We do it now. We you know, we'll pay more. We'll try harder to find these physical, you know, copies of things. So we're kind of doing it now, you know. We're kind of, you know, taking that extra step, you know, to find this physical media.
Yeah.
Because, you know, all these games, a lot of these games you could just emulate. You can buy them off the stores, you know.
Yeah.
But we go out of our way to wake up early, to go to these yard sales, to go to these conventions, to set up our, you know.
There's a lot of work, dude. It's literally a second job.
It is.
It's a second job.
But if it's a hobby, you know,
Yeah, it's a passion.
It's like a passion.
It's easier. Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a job. Hours and hours just melt away super
The
quick.
payoff. It's like you're almost in a real digital video game, or not digital. Well, a real human world video game of like you're on a side quest. You're on a quest.
Definitely.
You're you know you're collecting.
It's
You're
a
leveling up.
It's a treasure hunt.
You're leveling up. You're grabbing what you want to grab.
Sometimes you're like Zelda and you got your treasure. You know, you go out and stuff, you know? So
No, it's awesome to, you know, build your collection and make some money off of it too.
Yeah. No,
At
I
the
like
same
that.
time.
Danny, what are your thoughts on the whole AI and, you know, where the trend could lead? What do you think of that as far as...
it's dope. I like how everything's coming out. Like all those, I've seen all those memes, you know, Street Fighter, Vatos Locos Forever, you know, so there's some funny ones, but I love the AI.
Yeah, some of it, or even like the Lord of the Rings, where they're all partying,
you know, Masters of the
in a
Universe.
party, you know, have you seen that one?
Yeah. Fucking Predator and Arnold fucking taking a shot and shit, you know?
Gandalf drinking from the
those
keg.
are dope. But scary at the same time, bro. That's just kind of telling you it's happening, but you know, it's the future.
Well,
it has to happen. It's inevitable, you know, like Arnold said, you know?
Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah.
Did
you ever finish it?
I got pretty far in it.
No,
but
you gotta
there is
finish
a
it.
scene in there just talking about AI, and it kind of says like they're asking him.
Yeah, yeah.
They're asking Raiden.
That was revolutionary because I remember playing it because I was excited for it. That was the thing. It was like, hey, turn off the game. You know, what are you doing? It's gonna rot your brain, and it goes into this whole just where the future's going, and yeah, most of it actually really came true. You know, being censorship with information, and you know, you direct the flow of information, and a lot of it is misinformation. That's where we're at now, man.
This is Natasha, Russian gun specialist.
Metal Gear 1.
You know, it's still Metal Gear, bro.
No,
yeah, but they're talking about like AI, how
that
the government's letting us use it, but they've been using it for years.
Oh yeah.
You know, warping our perception on things.
Definitely, that's what it is doing, is learning. So it is constant. That's why they had introduce it to the public, because we're feeding it all these questions. We're feeding it like, hey, this is my picture. Can you change the picture? Hey, can you do this scenario? And it's constantly learning. That's what's cool but dangerous, you know? So I don't know where it goes, but I know we've been taught, who said it? Somebody said the quote where it was like, by the time we realize AI is a threat and dangerous, it's already too late. So it definitely could be.
It can be used definitely for good, you know.
Yeah.
That's there's a lot of possibilities that it could be used for, but you know, we're in the infancy of it. We're barely in the beginning of phases of it. So
Yeah,
and it's already up there.
I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, what it's, you know, what we're really going to use it for, because you know, just memes and stuff isn't, but it's, you know, it's real purpose.
Right now, it's a novelty. Yeah. But once
So
it
let's
gets
see
going,
what the real, you know, capabilities are and what it's going to be used for. I feel like now's the time. If it is the future, like us three, we should like totally embrace it and be on the, you know, the ground level of the infancy of it. Like, so, you know, 10 years from now, we're just going to be looking back like, dude, remember?
Yeah.
We got into it and look where we're at now.
Yeah, that'd be something to kind of really explore and kind of see.
You already see it. You already see that it's going to be something, you know, something big. So
Yeah.
I feel like just adapt it now and just go with it, you know?
I agree.
Cool. Well, hey, man, we're getting close to that hour mark. How about we wrap things up? I know we got a busy Sunday, so I'm going to kind of leave this for last thoughts. Anything you guys want to share with us? Any little story? Any little last piece of advice you want for the audience?
Go ahead, Danny, man.
Well, before I say a little story, just once again, SoCal will be there, June 6th to 8th.
That's right.
Game Snatch, we'll be there. We'll be next year. We'll be there all the following years. You know, we're hoping for something great. Thank you, SoCal, for this event again, and let's do this. I know you guys are ready for it too, and let's handle it. Quick little story. Once again, the gaming industry, this community, it's dope. You know, I respect everybody. You know, everybody respects us. It's fun. It's a hobby. It's, you know, it's joyful. And we share with you guys, and we play and stuff. And look at you, Jeezy, or I'm emulating stuff, Mr. Emulator over here, like dope stuff. I love that, bro. I love that, Jeezy.
Well, there's all kinds of games, and I'll share with you after this. But yeah, even just like a good little video that I shared after that retro gaming event. Yeah, you know, that was a little memory that came up, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, like I wanted to share that with you guys.
Thank you.
Just one of those little moments that you just, you know, the community comes together, and you know, friends come together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's, you said it right, so the community together. That's the best thing I could say, and it has to be like that, you know. And that's 100%. Success for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, in general, in life, you know what I mean. So find your path. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Find your passion and follow it. Find your passion and follow it. That's the only thing I want to say. Yeah. Whatever you're into, just do it. Just do it. You know, your body of work will speak for itself. You'll look back, you know, in years, you know, you followed your passion, you turn around, and you'll see everything you accomplished. So just don't give up, you know. Just keep doing what you want to do. Follow your dreams.
I like that. Well, with that being said, we're gonna leave this as a complete podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for doing this. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, you know, comment, and hopefully I have you guys on the next podcast.
There you go.
Game Snatch right there.